is a very simple project I'm doing on the CNC. I saw this on Instructables and a few other places where people have made kind of a mock guitar amp for a key holder. So this design is really straightforward, very simple, just using Inkscape. We just did shapes, rectangular shapes, and then rounded the corners. The kind of speaker holes were a snip from online. I brought up some dot designs online, did a snip, brought that screen snip into Inkscape, and then did a path and converted that to a bitmap so that we could do some CNC toolpaths for it. So this is the front, and then we're going to do 4 holes across here for the key holder part, and that'll just be done with the drill. That doesn't have to be done in the CNC. And because I want this to be thick, a couple pieces of pine. This is 3/4 inch pine that I've designed this for. The front piece, and then we just made a back piece. So that'll just be the back for it. Then we'll glue those together and drill out the holes. This is the pine piece we're going to use for that keychain holder. Just a 3/4 inch piece of pine, 6 feet long, about $7 at the local hardware store. I usually cut these down into somewhere between 18 and 20 inch lengths because it's easier on this little 3040 CNC to maneuver it around. Quickly cut down into individual pieces. This is brought into a program called JS Cut. Really great free program for defining toolpaths. I've got other videos on how to use this, but it's pretty straightforward. Here's our design from Inkscape and each of our operations. And you can look around the back side and see the cutouts for the tabs. Great program, jscut.org, or you can set it up to run locally, which is what I'm doing here. That's our front, and then this is just our back side. Since this is a little bit larger than normal, I need to overhang the CNC a little bit. The machine will go a little bit off the actual table, so that helps out squeezing in some extra space. This cut should take about a half an hour. Not too long. There's the initial cut. Just did a quick vacuum. So let's get this off the CNC and cut those tabs off. There's the front piece. This is my fancy paint booth out back. So we've got some paint on there. We'll let that set up and then sand off all the high spaces. The next step is to drill holes for these jacks. This is just a dial. This came out of the scrap bin, so we'll glue that down. Got our 4 marks for the 4 jacks. We could have done this on the CNC, but sometimes it's easier just to mark them and use the drill press. For the back, this is super simple. We drilled a hole in the front that matched the screwed opening, the threaded opening for that jack, and then went on the back side and used just a spade bit to drill out enough space to drop this little guy in. And that drops in there. We'll pull it through and put a nut on the other side. For the drill press, I just set the depth so there was enough space to slip that through. Put a little bit of shellac on here. There are the jacks, all tightened down, and our fake volume knob attached. The next step is to make a loop for the actual plugs to hold the keys. For the plug connection, there are lots of ways to do this, but I just drilled a hole through the connector. Another option would be to solder in some wire and then run that through, but I thought this looked a little bit cleaner. So let's put the keys on here and set this up. And that's on there. That just kind of looks cool on its own. The mounting system is really simple. Drilled some holes by the front door, and we're just using toggle bolts. So we'll knock those through and tighten it down. That's the finished VOX amp keychain holder. Came out kind of cool. We've got an extra one here. We can make some more of these for other keys. Nice and secure, pretty clean, and with those toggle bolts we're secured real well to the wall. Fun project. Thanks very much for taking a look.